Talk to him.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Whether the winters were left in the cold. Code language conversation for the day is on expectations. And like we always do with the code language conversation, we look up the book definition first and we go from there. So expectation, definition, a strong belief that something will happen or be the case in the future. Again, definition of expectation, a strong belief that something will happen or be the case in the future. What we got in the chat? Shout out to the chat, man. 333. Make sure y'all hit that like button. So expectations, a strong belief that something will happen or be the case in the future. So much nuance around expectations, right? So much to talk about in the way of expectations. When should you have expectations? When are expectations appropriate? When is it foolish of you to have expectations? You know, when is it entitled of you to have expectations? When is it acceptable to have expectations? Do we all have expectations? Should we all have expectations? See what I'm saying? Let's get into it, man. I think expectations in some cases are reasonable to have. However, I do believe there's a thin line between reasonable expectations and entitlement. I do think that the line is thin. I don't think that it's clear. Because sometimes you have to understand that everybody doesn't have the same level of etiquette, understanding of social normalcy, come from the same places where the norms may vary. Everybody doesn't. You have to give some grace. If you have expectations without grace, then I believe you've crossed the line into entitlement. I think that's the line. Expectations without grace. Because if you expect, we did a story time a couple of days ago where a woman expected flowers on a first date. And I spoke about it and I said she's entitled. He doesn't even know you or if he'll like you, but you have an expectation on him. You guys have no investment with one another. You have no what am I trying to say? No skin in the game. That's what had a brain cramp. You have no skin in the game with each other, but you have an expectation of being gifted and treated and adored and admired a certain way upon just simple meeting. Crossing over, and then when the man didn't bring the flowers for her, she made a thing about it. She said that she didn't get disrespectful with him, but she stressed to him how she felt about it instead of just moving forward and enjoying the evening. So because of that, that was probably their only date. You know, those expectations crossed over into entitlement. So I think that expectations are one of those things that are like mildly tricky. I don't want to say it's very difficult to manage, but it's mildly tricky. I think if somebody sets an expectation of themselves with you, then you're fully and completely within your rights to hold them to the expectations that they set with you. Now, if somebody has a habit of falling short of the expectations that they set with you, then you got to take them at face value. You got to understand what you did, who you dealing with. Just make your own adjustment in your head. If they tell you, expect 10 and you know better, then you know to expect 1045. You just know. Whether or not that's acceptable with you, that's a decision you have to make within yourself. Let's think about a time where expectations are unreasonable to have. There's more times where expectations are unreasonable than reasonable. Because, again, you have to have grace. Jay Zilla said, I've got one more. My father told me, if you see how others handle your friends' info, you need to be strict and accept people where they're at withholding water. Who can and cannot, it's diplomacy. Facts. That also falls into expectations. True. True. I believe that it would be naive of a person to expect all of their friends to be able to hold water. I believe it will be naive. Most people gonna talk too much. That just is what it is. And if you embrace what it is, then you can make the necessary adjustments. And I know, I get it. I get it. Sometimes people be like, oh, you know, I just needed to, oh, I feel so much better. Like I just needed to unload that. But where did you put it? No, Puffy. When you unload it, where did you put the information? You put it in the hands of who? Somebody with a bullhorn for a mouth? You in a bad way. And then to expect them to be different with you when all they talk to you about is others, you fooling yourself. It's literally naive. Literally. Excuse me for drinking so much juice on the stream, y'all, but I'm fasting today. So, got to get my calories. Had a good workout this morning. But yeah, man, that's the code language on expectations. We could probably double back on that and do a part 2, part 3, part 4, like most of the code languages for sure. But that's the code language. If you like what you just saw, support the channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, and jump in the comments. Talk to me so we could crack these codes. If you want to support the channel monetarily, go to my website and cop some merch, www.theclassiccodes.com. Or you can shoot me a Cash App. Either way, stick to the codes.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Weathered the winters when left in the cold. Hardened my heart.